Turnaround Operator of the Year award honors an individual or group who is responsible for turning around both the operations and profit performance of one or more Sonic drive-ins. Overcoming difficult circumstances are demonstrating an improved ability to manage business, to increase sales, and attract more customers are the important factors in determining this award. This year's winner is known to have incredible focus and an intense ability to determine what is important and then focus on it, qualities that have served him well in developing a stronger Sonic presence in the Kentucky market. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the 2004 Turnaround Operator of the Year, Michael Irons, Columbia, South Carolina. Beginning his Sonic career in 1991, Mike is now associated with 34 drive-ins in Columbia, South Carolina and Lexington, Kentucky, and is the Vice President of Operations for his group. Since buying the Lexington Market in May 2003, they have increased sales 19% and increased profit 147%. Uneasy accepting sole credit for the turnaround, Mike points to others in his group, all who work toward a single purpose of improving operations. He says the team already in place in Lexington was in good shape. They simply changed the coach and the focus. Part of that focus is the group's custom-developed master's program, which is a high-end recognition program for hourly employees. Mike has a strong belief in focusing rewards and recognition on his best performance. His philosophy is that by investing in the top third of his people, by getting them excited, the entire group will rise to a higher level of achievement. Well, it seems to be working. Let's hear more about Mike.
The challenges that Mike and I faced whenever we came up here were basically a lack of focus on customer service. And once we figured that out and began to get people, they responded well, and I believe that was the key to getting the area turned around.
They did not have a culture about taking care of either their employees or their customers. It was all about squeezing every penny every day out of every restaurant.
Half of the managers that were there day one were and are to this day outstanding managers. All we had to do was to provide them with the tools. Okay, all we need to do is let them go, and you know, cheerlead them to a degree. You know, when they had success, go out and talk about that success. When they got 100 on a shop, talk about that. And if their profitability wasn't exactly where it needed to be, well, let's minimize that and let's get you focused on service, because long term, sales growth is going to drive the profitability much more than whatever you can cut.
Probably the biggest challenge he faced was getting our ab times and our response times, and late ticket percentages down.
He just showed us how to do what we needed to do. And I will say that we never got visited before. I'd say I've been visited by him more in the last year and a half. And he always learns something new every time he comes.
It was easier for him to overcome these challenges by letting everybody know where he stood and what he expected of you.
With him, it all comes back to people. Do we have the right people? How do we attract the right people? How do we recruit them and develop them and train them, replace them if necessary? But the overall goal is always moving ahead with upgrading our people, either through development of the ones we have or through, frankly, replacing some of them.
The Master's Program is designed for those people in our restaurants that want to go to the next level and learn the extra stuff that goes on in the restaurant.
I want to show these off. These are very nice.
It never ceases to amaze me how new managers tend to think that they need to keep all the knowledge when they don't realize that to become an effective manager, it's as much stuff as you can push out to as many people as you can. So this is a way of getting that information out.
I think one of the ways that Mike has helped us all understand profitability is the ability to understand our people. And and reduce turnover. I think through the master's program and all the other things that we have done to implement a fun environment in our drive-ins, I think that the younger people that work with us want to work for us, and they stay with us for a long time.
Mike is truly a mentor. He's very loyal to his people. He's a true friend, and he aspires to have excellence not only in himself but also on the people that work with him.
He's shown that he has a genuine concern for each of his partners. He comes to our drive-ins one-on-one, talks to us. I know if I need to, if I need to pick up the phone, if I ever have a question, I can go straight to him and he'll give me an honest answer.
He has put a lot of time and effort in Kentucky, and he has seen the results, and the results excite him, and the passion it takes to put that much time and effort into something, it's nice to see it to be rewarded.
So all of a sudden we got in there, we're having some fun, backed it up with being able to spend the money to make sure that the facility was right, and then compensate them based on the sales performance and just manage the profit. And it got around. We're not, like I said, we're not there completely, but we're probably halfway, I think halfway where we need to be. To me, the turnaround operators of the year ought to be the group as a whole, and in that respect, I would like to single out David Clement, Gary Birdwell, and the handful of managers that were there since day one, because they did the job.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2004 Turnaround Operator of the Year, Michael Iron.
12 years as a franchisee, moments after Patty tells us that she's departing, and they finally ask me if I want to say something. No, honestly, I could go on for hours. I won't, but I do have to single out some of those people in Kentucky that just did an absolutely outstanding job. You saw some of them in there. And the David Clement, Gary Birdwell, and even Keith Brown did such a yeoman's job of turning the entire culture around. All of us will be much prouder today to be able to walk into Lexington, Kentucky and say, yeah, I'm a part of this company than we would have a couple years ago. And their efforts have been just stupendous. I also have to single out my folks who have stood behind this whole process and been intimately involved for the whole time. My dad is probably one of the brightest, most intense, focused people I know. He keeps telling me that anyway, so it must be true. But the real inspiration, and I think I've got to make sure I mention this because this is the one that was at home taking care of what part of my job was to be taken care of, but she never flinched and has made me proud, excuse me, for the amount of effort and energy that she's put forward and the inspiration that she's always provided for me. My wife, Lisa Irons, is just an absolute trooper. But thank you all for the award. Appreciate it.